10 personal transition tips. Transitions have 3 stages. First of all, an ending or a completion. Secondly, a neutral zone. And thirdly, a new beginning. Now, not everybody realises this, and I think often people move too fast from an ending to a new beginning, missing out the neutral zone, which is very important. Your neutral zone between the ending and the beginning might be a day, a week, a couple of months, half a year. There's no definite time for it, but it's a neutral zone. You don't normally recognise that you're in it, but it can be quite an uncomfortable place to be, sort of full of unexpressed feeling and uncertainty. This is very common. What will help is to acknowledge the ending and make sure that it is completed rather than just left. Otherwise, the new beginning can't take place, and there will be a risk that you repeat the same pattern and it just appears to be new. Whilst in the neutral zone, here are some suggestions or tips, in fact 10 of them, about things that could help you. First of all, take your time and don't rush things. This is important because I think for most of us there is an urge to rush from the transition period, and it may be that taking your time sometimes means doing nothing, which for many people is uncomfortable. Secondly, in order to support you, arrange temporary structures. So that might mean something like a temporary job or sort of temporary friends, something to support you in the situation that you're in, which is not your normal means of support. The third tip, number 3, is don't act for the sake of action. So maybe there are a number of actions available to you and you take none of them while you think. It's like if there ever was a time in your life for thinking, this is it. Thinking is such a valuable thing to do at this time. Thinking, reflecting. The fourth tip is to recognise and acknowledge why you are uncomfortable. You are uncomfortable because something has ended. And an ending is quite an uncomfortable thing, even if it's an ending of something that we didn't like, because we will have got used to it. The fifth point that everybody likes and also everybody says at times like this is take care of yourself in little ways. Now, this is where people say, have a hot bath, that sort of thing, put your favourite perfume on. But these things may not apply to you. It's take care of yourself in the little ways that you like to take care of yourself, not the recommended ways. Number 6, explore the other side of the change. A change is happening. What possibly could be the outcome of this, both positive and negative? Just consider and maybe list the possible outcomes that could come from this change. And something that goes with this is number 7, get someone to talk to. This is not advice. It's really not advice. Because at a time like this, people will be very tempted to advise you. And even just opening the conversation up runs a risk of advice which won't help you. So find somebody who you can talk to, enjoy talking to, somebody who will listen to you. Point 8 is to find out what's waiting in the wings of your life. What does your intuition tell you if you listen? So one of the ways that I like to do this is to just look around and notice what people, what objects, what ideas capture my attention. So it may not be the sorts of things that I regard myself in my normal personality as interested in, but I find myself being interested in something or someone who's a bit different. Now that is a really good sign at this time. It's an indication of something that might be coming towards you. Point 9 is to use this transition as an impetus for a different kind of learning. So that's really about using what it is that you are learning from this, because you will be learning something new. So pay attention to it and notice it. And point 10 is to recognize that transition has a characteristic shape, and that this neutral zone is in the middle of it. So recognize that you are in the middle of it. So those are your 10 personal transition tips. Hope you find them useful. It's something that I find useful right now. I am finding them useful.